Hey everyone. Okay, today is absolutely gorgeous in Sydney. It's hot, the sun's out, yay. Okay, for those of you who've just joined now, I'm doing chapter summaries for Tyrese Gibson's book, How to Get Out of Your Own Way. And we've covered author's note, a prayer before we begin, forward, and today we're doing a message to our youth, which I absolutely love because I have teenage kids myself, and I think he does a brilliant job on really connecting to their brains. I've even told my kids, you've got to read this chapter. I'm actually want to keep it short because yesterday's video was 15 minutes and it was a bit too long. So I want to keep them short and concise and then just put enough details in the description area which you can go and read and hopefully get the book and read as well. Okay, a message to our youth. He talks about environment, and so he's saying basically it doesn't matter what your environment is, you have the power to change it. He grew up in Watts, and so his environment was not that great, and as compared to a lot of us, was actually worse. So he could have done a couple of things. He could have stayed where he was, or he could have gotten out and changed his environment altogether, which he did. So he's saying you are the master. You are the master of your own environment. And he says basically even if you're a teenager, you can become the master of your environment and the master of your future. And that goes for both teenagers and anybody really. And he said, do whatever you can to create a better mindset for yourself. And that's huge because the mindset is massive. If you've got a very poor mindset, then that will obviously come out into your everyday life. And he also talks about concentrating on your own goals. So like a lot of people, we get caught up in someone else's goals and we want to help them out and all that is all fine, but we tend to sort of lose ourselves and forget about or put our goals on the back burner and help someone else. So he's saying concentrate on your own goals. And he also mentions the fact that when he grew up, as I mentioned before, that he grew up in Watts and his environment was drug dealing and all that kind of stuff, and he could have stayed in that environment because his family, they didn't have any money, or they were struggling. And he went through days where he didn't eat because there was no money, so he was hungry. And so when he sees people who have the extravagant lifestyle, so nice cars, clothes, etc., and all that stuff, all those things to teenagers looked cool. So a lot of the kids, and he said 90% of how many percent of his friends that he had in Watts went down that path because it was the easy route, but also the fact that it was there. They were exposed to it, and that's what they wanted. So he's saying that even though he was exposed to that, he chose to change his environment. And he's saying just don't get caught up in your friend's stuff. And then he touches on teenage pregnancy and sex and things like that, which I thought was really deep actually, because he comes from a place of, well, I think that he connects really well with teenagers, and he explains why they should respect themselves, but not to get, not to sort of have sex too young and get pregnant and end up having a baby in your teenage years, because he's saying that you're still a baby yourself. How can you look after a baby? You can, but you haven't grown up yourself. And then he says, no matter how mature these teenage kids think they are, they're not, because they're still kids themselves. And then he talks about what else did he talk about? Yes, mentors. He's saying mentors. So find a mentor. His dad left him when he was young. So he didn't have that father figure to actually help him learn and the right things to do and move forward. So he found other people. So he had a male teacher who became his father figure and authority in his life. So he's saying even if you don't have a father in your life for whatever reason, he's saying find someone who can become a mentor to you that you can learn off. And that's pretty much it. So in a nutshell, yay, 5 minutes. That's that chapter there. Well, they're not really chapters. They're just the little bits before the actual chapters. And then chapter 1 is childhood, which is a great chapter, which I'll cover tomorrow. So for now, thanks again. I'll put the link for the other 2 videos down below. I'd love to hear your comments. If you haven't got the book already, there'll be links down there for the book as well. And that's the book there. Highly, highly, highly recommended. And till tomorrow.